All right, now, so let's actually go ahead and create the authentication system. Um, so if we just go back, and go right here, Laravel create auth system. All right, so we go to this link right here, authentication. All right, so if we go down at the bottom, of course, there's a lot of ways to actually go ahead around this and create your authentication system. But I'm just gonna go ahead actually and go with like the classical way of creating this, which is using the UI library right over here. All right, so let me actually just go ahead and copy this right here and let me go. All right, so we're using this to simply run the server. So let's actually go ahead and create another or grab another get command line. So if we just go ahead right over here and if we go and just paste this, I want to actually go ahead right over here and I want to delete this and I want to go enter. All right, so this should set up the UI library. All right, so right after this, we want to go ahead and grab this thing right here, and we're not going to work with view. This will simply just create the authentication system based on the UI library. You can read about this, however, you can read about this whole thing right over here. All right, but we're not going to use view. We're gonna actually use bootstrap. All right, so it's generating right now the UI library. So if we look right over here, this command should be used on fresh applications and will install layout view registration and login views. All right, so it's gonna grab, or generate the layout, the registration and the login views, and we're gonna actually customize them, based on our interest because we're gonna use our template later. All right, so right after this, it's gonna create the home controller right over here. All right, so right after this, the package right here will generate several built authentication controllers. Of course, it's going to generate the authentication controller, and this is the logic of the controller. This is the logic of the authentication system. All right, so yeah, it will also grab a register controller and a logging controller right here, which will handle the authentication. All right, so you can see right over here there is a lot of stuff to read about actually if you are interested to read this. All right, so is it done? So yeah, if we go right over here right under this and if we paste this in, if we go right over here instead of view, we just go bootstrap like this and click enter. All right, so it actually install the bootstrap inside this. So if we go right over here, you can see that authentication scaffolding generated successfully. If we go to the project right now, if we go to app, if we access HTTP, and if we access controllers, you can see that we have this auth folder right here, which has all of these controllers right over here. All right, so as you can see, there is the login controller, which will help us to log in. This is simply just the logic. All right, so we will have a middleware right here, when we will have a guard right here, which is the guest and so on. And this is the registration controller right over here. So this will validate, the inputs, and this will create the data inside the database. So yeah, there is a lot of whole stuff right here. So we also try to access the views. If we go to resources and if we go to views, if we go to auth right here, we can see that we have a couple of views. Here is the login, and here is simply the register views. All right, which we are gonna access in just a minute. But if we look right here, authentication scaffolding generated successfully. All right, so awesome. Bootstrap scaffolding installed successfully. Great. Now it's telling us to simply run those right over here to compile, the scaffolding, so we can actually finish up this whole thing. So if we just copy this, go right here and paste, enter right over here. All right, so you know, this will probably like take a while, so I'm just gonna stop this for now. All right, now, so if you look right over here, you can see that, you know, it added like 37 packages. 7 packages are looking for funding, blah blah blah. So all what we can get from this, if we can go to our own project, you can see that added this folder, which is node modules, right over here, which can, you know, which has like all the necessary modules, you know, packages, and all of the necessary tools that we will need to actually run this project. All right, and it's actually running our own project right now through Vite, you know, and think of Vite like a package bundler, something like this. All right, it just loads our own assets, you know, views and stuff like that. All right, so, you know, we're gonna also leave this we're gonna actually leave this get command line as it is, and when we're not gonna touch it because we're running you know, there is also the Vite is running right over here. All right, so if we actually refresh this for now. All right, so as you can see, we're having a login and the register, you know, links right over here. So if we click on this, so we're gonna go to the login page. All right, so it's taking a while, and this is, you know, this is a little boring, I know. If we click also on the register right over here, you can see that we're accessing the register page right over here. And I want to actually go and look at my migrations. So if I go to database and if I go to migrations right here, you can see that I have my migrations right over here. But I need to go ahead still to my project right over here, and I want to grab a new get right here, and I want to go now, because yeah, the migrations are right over there in this migration folders inside the database folder, but you know, we don't have any kind of tables inside the job board database right over here. So we need to actually go ahead and migrate this through the command line so we can actually generate our own tables, you know. All right, so where is actually my database? Right over here, job board. All right, so as you can see, the database is still empty. So I want to go right here and I want to go PHP artisan migrate like this. All right, so if we just click on enter right here, so it should actually migrate this. So preparing database, and there you can see it's running the migrations right now. So if I refresh this database once more, so there you can see here is actually our own starting points. You know, these are the tables that we should start with. The most important one is just the users table right over here. All right, so as you can see, we have now a users table. You know, just in a couple of minutes we already have an authentication system running, and you know, this is the beauty of Laravel, or actually just frameworks in general. So as you can see, name, email, password, and so on. So if we just refresh this, if we go down over here, let's see, I'm just gonna write this real quick, and this right over here, I'm just gonna go right over here at gmail.com. I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna keep the, you know, the password and the confirm password are the same as the email. And if we click register right here, all right, and let's see what's gonna happen. All right, so we're actually at the home right now. You know, this dashboard right here, you are logged in. So yeah, awesome. And if we actually hover over and click on this, we can just click on this and it will log out right away. So yeah, great. If we actually go and refresh this now, we should actually see our own data that we just created in a second. So here's the name, the email, the password is already hashed for us. So yeah, awesome, great. If I go ahead right now and just log out, I want to, you know, try the login. So let me copy this. Let me just go ahead and copy the email, and let's paste this and paste this also right here. So there is the email and the password. They're basically the same. If I click on login, as you can see, I'm at the home right now, which is again awesome. So yeah, this is what I have for you in this video. In the next one, we should actually go ahead and integrate our own template.